You're a Reds fan, are you not, Randy?
I am a Reds fan, and I'm hoping that we get Mayor McCheese to throw out the first pitch so we can go on a run here after the All-Star break.
Oh, the Mets made the Yankees grimace in that 2-game Subway Series sweep. All right, let's get down to business. Tonight is the NHL draft. We're done with the NBA draft. I can guarantee that no Duke hockey players will fall out of the first round tonight. We'll get to Kyle Filipowski and maybe Jared McCain in a minute. All right, Randy, you're a hockey guy. Let me start with you. Jake Gensel, sign him or keep Martin Necas. What are you doing?
I like keeping Jake Gensel. Maybe it's just because I'm a little biased when I was in Pittsburgh, but I like Jake. He's got the playoff experience. I think he played really well on the top line. I think maybe you can get some other assets potentially for Marty. I'm pro team Jake Gensel. And again, we've seen what we've seen from this team. It's a lot of young guys, but I think shaking it up and keeping a guy like Jake who hasn't been here the whole time is maybe a good thing.
I mean, I agree. Josh, I know you don't get a chance to come as much because you're busy like covering every ACC basketball ever been created, every ACC basketball game ever been created. But your thoughts, even from, 62 miles?
It's not the sexy answer. It's not the, let me just pick one side without hedging it at all. But obviously, when you're talking about having 9 impending free agents, it depends on the price. And Marty Necas is 3-4 years younger than Jake Gensel is. And if he comes a lot cheaper than Jake Gensel as well, whether it's hometown discount or RFA versus UFA, and that allows for you the chance to keep an extra player that you wouldn't be able to keep otherwise because Gensel would be more expensive, then I'd probably say take the younger player entering his athletic prime that you kind of know what he is and understands your culture more than Jake Gensel does. So it's obviously couched with it depends on the price, but if all things were equal, yes, you'd want to keep Jake Gensel from a production standpoint more than Marty Necas.
Yeah, Gensel, who, by the way, in his time with the Hurricanes, the numbers are kind of eye-poppingly gaudy, right? I'm not for just so people understand, I am not suggesting that playing with Sebastian Aho was better for Jake Gensel than playing with Sidney Crosby, because that would be fundamentally silly. But they did click. They got in an offensive run. It kind of went away a little bit in the playoffs, but I'm not sure I blame Aho and Gensel as much as they did get Igor Shesterkin, and because to me that was the difference in the series. It wasn't really the Rangers' power play. Game 1, yes, but for the most part, the Hurricanes lost to the Rangers because Igor Shesterkin played at the supreme level, and Frederik Andersen played, well, let's just say at something short of a supreme level. Like the 20-piece McNuggets versus a kitty McNuggets. We'll just do that since I'm still thinking about the Mets. Price is important as well.
What's your go-to sauce, by the way?
Say again?
Ooh.
My go-to
sauce.
Your go-to sauce on the nugget.
Oh, the Polynesian, whatever it's called.
Wow.
Yeah, sweet and sour. Sweet and sour sauce.
Sour,
is that even a debate? I got no time for McDonald's barbecue sauce.
I agree. 100%.
Debates, not to get political.
Look, it was a tough night. It was a tough night for the United States in Atlanta last night. I just want that said. I want that said. We're going to talk about 2-1 Panama before we get out of here. What's your go-to sauce, Graham?
The buffalo sauce is underrated.
They have that? I didn't know they had that at McDonald's.
Yes, a lot of people don't know. Everyone knows about the sweet and sour, maybe even know about the barbecue. The buffalo with the barbecue, if you were to dip in both at the same time, it mixes together pretty well. Just a little bit of a cheat code for you.
I like that. A little hidden menu there. All right, Bronny James, drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Josh, is nepotism running amok in our society?
No. Yes, it kind of is.
Of course it is. That doesn't mean this is bad.
Okay. But that's not really what the story is here, though. Yes, nepotism is across society. But in this story, it's LeBron James running amok of the Los Angeles Lakers and trampling all over them because he clearly, it's not based on merit that he was drafted 55 overall, averaged about 5 points per game. There's obviously the medical concerns based on the cardiac issue from last year as well. So it's not based on merit that this happens, of course. It's because LeBron James, with the help of Rich Paul too, apparently threatening other teams not to draft him, that this happens. But it's obvious that LeBron he handpicked his head coach too. Or are we just led to believe that the one man on earth that LeBron handpicked to be his podcast co-host is now the head coach of the Lakers, just turned out to be the best candidate in JJ Redick? This reeks of the end of Kobe Bryant's playing years with the Lakers, where things were terrible and the Lakers were this family-run business kind of that just said, all right, we love Kobe, so we're just going to let Kobe have his way. And it's going to be a spectacle, but it's going to be hollow. Kobe had the 60 points, and everyone remembers that. But what people kind of forget is, they missed the playoffs, and Kobe took 50 shots in that game. So LeBron's going to play with his kid, but the details of how LeBron's kid ended up being drafted by the Lakers makes it a little bit more hollow and less merit-based than some of the other examples of sports where we've seen a son and a father playing in the same sport and playing in the same league.
I want Randy to respond to this before I point out some things.
See, the thing is the beauty of sports is ball don't lie. You can have nepotism in a lot of different jobs, and a guy can get a job at a company because of his dad or whatever. And Bronny gets
Tommy boy
play for the Lakers. Yeah, he gets to play. But we're going to find out if he can actually do it. Eventually, it doesn't matter who your dad is. If you stink, you stink. I'm not rooting against the guy. I kind of feel bad for him. He's in like a no-win situation of, hey, your dad's the most powerful dude in his sport, and he wants to play with his son. So guess what? You're immediately going to be on an NBA roster before you're ready. By the way, he's 6'1" and not really that fast. That's tough to be that small and not the quickest dude on the floor. So good luck, Bronny, but nepotism's real, and I mean, LeBron gets what he wants, and quite frankly, that's all we really care for, right?
I'm Team LeBron. If LeBron wants it, I'm okay with it. I would just point this out. He was the 55th player selected. He wasn't the 15th player selected. There were only 3 players selected after him. We are not at this point sifting through future All-NBA players. So the scouting reports...
Probably not.
Right? The scouting reports on players drafted in this area are not, man, I can't believe this guy was still there at 55. But he's got some good qualities. Respectable NBA draft scouts think that were it not for the heart condition, which is a real thing, which he has been medically cleared and played the season, that he would have been much further along at USC. That set him back. And he did impress at the NBA Combine. He was one of the most impressive players there. I'm not suggesting that the Lakers had to draft him at 55. I'm not sure anybody was going to draft him. The Lakers take him at 55, maybe to keep Dad happy. I have zero problem with that. He will fail or succeed on his own merits. And if it doesn't work, I mean, JJ Redick's not a dope. He's just not LeBron's coach. He wants to be the coach of the Lakers after LeBron. So he ain't going to put Bronny on the court if Bronny can't help them ultimately win. So,
you sure about that?
Unless JJ doesn't want to be the coach anymore. I mean, I'm just assuming that JJ Redick would like to coach more than a year.
Sure, but if LeBron thinks his son isn't developing because he's not getting enough playing time, then
that's why the Lakers have a G League team.
He's not going to the G League. I didn't think Rich Paul wanted him to. I thought Bronny was above that kind of nonsense to go down to the developmental league.
He's gonna play wherever he can develop as a player. I think it would be absolutely foolish, and I don't think that JJ would do it, to use the Lakers as a developmental program. It's not the academy team, right? It's just not the academy team. So I just thought, now maybe I'm naive about this. but I don't see that happening. All right, let's get to it. I'll go back to you, Randy. Panama 2, USA 1. Explain.
Well, Greg Berhalter stinks. He's not a good coach. We learned this at the World Cup, but yet they did a search, and I guess, nobody at Team USA had a podcast with anybody they liked, so they couldn't hire a podcaster to be their next head coach.
But they did hire the brother of somebody on the committee.
That is true. It's absolutely embarrassing that a team with this much talent and this much money and this much resources is in the position they're in. There's no way, a man down even, there's no way that this team should have lost that game yesterday.
I agree. I thought I didn't like the tactics after going a man down, and of course they still took the lead after going a man down. Good, great goal from Flo Balogun. He's had a pretty good. I actually didn't like his first match. I liked him much better in the match last night. But then they go a man down. Josh, felony conviction for Greg Berhalter, or just maybe loss of employment if the United States doesn't escape the group?
It's a great question. I'm disappointed in Jake Tapper and Dana Bash for not bringing it up last night. I think that certainly is something that should have been.
I missed that. I was doing a Canes podcast, so I missed whatever else happened in the post-game show in Atlanta.
Yeah, if it were tonight, I'm sure Kyle Filipowski would have came up. But anyway, do you know what stinks more than Greg Berhalter? Replay VAR on non-scoring plays in the 18th minute. Like, I get it.
Oh, come on, it was a red card. You can't hit a guy in the back of the head.
But it was
care
a yellow.
where it is.
It was a yellow card until we had to go to the side of the pitch.
That's fine. The referee how he gave a yellow card without even seeing it is kind of amazing.
That's the other thing.
But your assistant referees are there to help you.
Sure, I was a referee, and often I was an assistant referee. I get it, but replay in sports, that's another thing where we're going to replay in the 18th minute when. This could have just been...
Of all the things to argue, you're arguing that Tim Weah shouldn't have been sent off?
No, Tim Weah definitely should have been sent off.
Then why are you complaining about it?
Why did we have to go to VAR to do this is my point. I'm saying, hey, let's send him off without having to be here for 5 minutes before this thing gets...
that didn't take very long. It took a lot longer to sort out the non-penalty in the second half than it took to figure... I mean... the referee, whatever his name is, he went to the monitor for like 8 seconds and went, "Oh yeah, you're done."
Truthfully, though,
it took him longer to take the red card out of his pocket.
This is a very American soccer thing to happen at this point, and I feel like American soccer fans have this PTSD where anytime you're in a match of consequence and you're expecting something good to happen, it's the shades of Taylor Twellman losing his mind when they didn't qualify for the World Cup in 2018, or if you think you're safe with the U.S. women's national team with them playing in Paris next month, let's not forget what happened with the Women's World Cup the last time out where things were less than awesome. And
yeah, they weren't good. But that's just they weren't good. They were hurt and not good.
And now we're supposed to believe that good things are going to happen against Uruguay when you need to advance.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
That's the part where, oddly enough, there are pre-March of 2024 NC State vibes to U.S. When you most expect good things to happen, Weah gets sent off and the U.S. loses to Panama. But when they least expect good things, like Uruguay coming up, maybe that's when the United States strikes, and Greg Berhalter isn't so bad the next time we face.
2-1 USA on Monday. I can't wait for it. Josh Graham. At Josh Graham Radio. I don't really believe that. Sure. And at rslack37 on Twitter, Randy Slack, ESPN Wilmington, Josh Graham, Sports Hub Triad. Thank you very much, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Always a fun time. Thank you.